Hello YouTube, my name is Sean Govan and my family and I are starting a farm which we intend to make a living off of within 2 years at the latest. And the point of this channel is to document our journey so that other folks out there who also want to start a profitable farm that they can make a living off of with their families can benefit from our mistakes and failures and hopefully from our successes. So I'll give you a quick little tour. There it is, our farmhouse, right in the middle of town. I don't believe that we need a lot of acres to start because we're doing honeybees. Other people, doing microgreens or whatever, also might not need a lot of space to start. Our goal is to get a real farm though. In the meantime, we'll be happy with our 1.5 city lots, and our neighbors are very grateful for because they're very tolerant of our strange activities. We bribed them with honey a little bit. And I'm glad that we started with bees because bees, they take a lot of time to learn about because they're not like a dog or a cat. They're very different as far as caring for them. And it's a really, steep learning curve just learning to keep them alive. This is our 3rd year keeping bees. First year, I lost them all because I was stupid. And that's a mistake that won't be documented here, but I let them starve to death. And the next year I decided, well, if I've got more bees, I can always have honey, but if I only have a bunch of honey and all my bees are dead, then I'm out of luck. So I decided to learn, instead of focusing on getting honey, I decided to learn how to propagate bees and make more bees. So last year we started out with 2 packages in spring of bees and split them and ended the year with 6. So I tripled. And this year we've gotten good enough that we tripled twice. And all of them overwintered, all of them survived the winter. But, yep, people passing by in the street are always very curious about all these bees. What's in these buckets is sugar syrup because we're just starting to come out of our summer dearth. And so there's no flowers. None of this syrup gets in our honey, but this is sugar syrup just so they have enough calories to be able to feed the baby bees and draw more comb and expand and stay reasonably healthy. Not the best nutrition, but at least it's good enough quantity for them. Junk food is better than no food at all if you're starving. So another feature of our farm at the moment is this plum tree. It produced an amazing, unbelievable amount of plums 2 years in a row. Then it took a break this year. So next year I'm expecting to get more plums again. Anyway, when it produces, it's really prolific. Fruit trees are something I have to learn about. I know that there's ways to prune them so that they're a little more regular and they produce every year, but I don't know much about that yet. It's already a lot juggling a full-time job with the bee farm and business. When we first started keeping bees, we didn't even put them in town. We didn't even keep them in town. We kept them at a friend's house in the country. But then the next year, we decided, bees aren't so terrible to have around, and they don't bother people. So we brought them back and we put them in this tree house in our backyard. The idea being, if they're up high to start with, they will stay high when they leave the hive to go forage, so then they'll be above people's heads and they won't bother people. People won't notice or care. Then we started putting them at ground level, and we realized that it still doesn't matter anyway, because they just leave their hive, they go up at a 45, zoom, over the trees, over the houses, and then they level off when they get over the top of the obstacles, and they go wherever they're going until they go down. Then they come back up, come back to the hive, and come back with their nectar and pollen. So a few weeks ago we actually split our hives 3 ways, from 20 hives to 60 hives. And here they all are now. Here they all are in 5-frame nukes and 2-frame nukes. And they're doing pretty good for the most part. But anyway, when you have that week of a split, you have to really baby them along to get them to make it. Make sure they have enough food all the time and everything, so they can build up before winter, especially this time of year, so they don't have a whole lot of time left. The pests abound at this time of year. So we brought them here to our backyard, all of them, and the tarps are just overkill, because really, even without the tarps, they were just coming straight up, going over the houses. Honeybees don't follow streets, they don't go around obstacles. If they want to get to a street a few blocks away diagonally, they won't, go down the street, hang a left, go down the street again, hang a right, and get there. They'll just go way up and over. So they don't, and we're in constant communication with the neighbors, just asking them to let us know if they ever have any problem with their bees, and they always assure us, no, your bees never bother us. We don't see much of your bees. So anyway, in this channel, I'll talk about, not only the physical things we do at farming, like how to raise healthy bees, or how we try to raise healthy bees, because we're never done with our learning curve, and how we do things on the farm to raise healthy stock, healthy plants, whatever we do in the future. But we'll also talk about at least a little bit about, the things that are hardest for beginning farmers to succeed at, and what's going to be the hardest thing for us is the marketing. It's one thing to produce a wonderful, delicious, healthy product, and it's a totally something else to sell it, and to get it to the people who need it and want it. Something totally different. And we're going to talk about that. So right now, what I'm planning to do when I get time over these next few days is set up our website. I'm going to use Squarespace. WordPress looks too complicated for a non-techie guy like me. I've got too much going on. I could figure it out, but I've got too much else going on to take the time. So anyway, that's it for this video. Please like and subscribe if you want to hear about some of our real adventures. This is kind of just an introductory video, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Honey Drop Farm.